Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Luminous, bring you back to time. This is 6.61B, and if you're wondering why I'm doing this commentary, you should look up at the title because this is my 100 commentary. I'm getting a little emotional. I'm getting a little teary inside. Not really, but emotional nonetheless. And this was the actual first Dota game I have ever casted, or at least uploaded to YouTube. But yes, this is the 100th commentary done by Luminous, and I'm gonna be casting the same game that I casted back in number one. So I don't know, maybe after this game or before this game, you would go back to my number one commentaries, and then just kind of look at how I've progressed. Hopefully, I have progressed and not digress. And yes, I'm gonna be doing this game between DTS.Dendi and then KS.Swy. And man, it's well, I can't believe I did a CMO game in my first ever cast. But you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about the CMO in this CMO analysis. I'm just basically gonna sit here and reminisce. And man, it's been a while. This commentary was done in July 2009, and now it's February 2011. So it's been like a year and a half since I have done this, but I finally hit 100. And I mean, I could talk about my personal growth as a commentator, but I think from 1 to 100, my biggest joy as a commentator is actually making DC grow, creating DC and then making DC grow. And I think I'm gonna be here for a while. So if you guys do enjoy my commentaries, I guess that's good. If you don't enjoy my commentary, I don't know why you're watching this, but I'm gonna get some blanket covering my tower. Man, I'm like a little bit emotional because I never thought I would be here in terms of commentating for such a long time, and I never thought people would enjoy my videos as much. So it's a very humble thanks to all of you guys. Especially for those that you guys were watching as I did DTS.Dendi versus KS.Swy since the first time I did that game, and now you guys have stuck around and watched me till now. And also to the people that have been helping me along the way. I could list out names, but it would just be too many because every one of your comments do help me out. Even the haters, I do appreciate the haters. It's a kind of odd thing to say, but it's just I guess my personality, how it works is that whenever I get a hateful comment or anything like that, it serves as a motivation to do better. So I don't know. a lot of the like other YouTube channel always say, oh, thanks to my subscribers. You know, it's a very, I guess it's really an honor to have everyone watching me, and I'm really thankful. So aside from all that emotional stuff out of the way, let's get into the game. This is DTS.Dendi KS.Swy. This is actually 6.61B, and so I already kind of forgot what the Imba heroes were back in those version. Hopefully I remember because yeah, Enchantress seems like she was an Imba hero, and so is Undying. I think Rasa was trending back in that time. Well, if you guys weren't watching competitive for that long, Enchantress back then was really strong because her untouchable, her heal, and her impetus did a lot of damage, and Ice Frog made a huge nerf on her, which nerfed her strength gain by basically halved her strength gain. I think her old strength gain was 2 strength per level, and now it's 1. So it's like a huge nerf, and that's why we don't see Enchantress anymore. But Enchantress still, it's very good hero now, and back then it's just insane. That's why you can see the first pick on the Enchantress. And Dying was just entering the CM mode. I think this is like the second or third version that he was just entering. So his Tombstone combo was really ridiculous. I think this was the time where you could still teleport Scroll to the tomb. So if you're getting gank in the jungle, you just pop the tomb down, the tome down, and then people could just teleport in. I think you might, I'm not exactly sure. You might require a BOT to do it. but I know you could teleport on the stone, so that's pretty OP. Also, he chases really well, and Dying's just a really good hero. I think he's still a very good hero. It's just that in the current metagame, he's not picked that often. But back in 6.61b, he was. But meanwhile here on the Scourge, I mean, these are kind of standard heroes. We do see these heroes still sometimes from time to time. Potom was still very, very popular hero. Like nowadays, Potom has been replaced by Windrunner, but back then, very, very popular. And then Chen's always a really strong hero. Now that we don't see Chen that often, I mean, we definitely see Chen from time to time. But Chen, I mean, it's actually a really it's actually a very fun thing for me to actually go back and casting this game, which actually took a lot of work to cast, because the replay took forever to find, because it wasn't DTS.Dendi versus KS.Swy and Gosu Gamer. Gosu Gamer admin failed because they named it as DTS.Dendi versus Puppy. Puppy's not even in this fucking game. Maybe he's one of these other tags. I guess they just wanted more people to click on the replay, so they just named it a popular Dota player, Puppy. So, and it took, it took forever to find the game. Second, as you know, that if you actually watch a very, very old game right now, you can't, because I think 6 or 7 months ago there was a patch switch, so that now none of the older Warcraft versions will be allowed to watch older replays. So I had the Warcraft 3 save on my hard drive, and my hard drive I haven't touched it for ages, and it actually had the Warcraft 3 version before the whole big patch fix. So that took me forever to figure out. So I loaded that, and then I figured out, well, I can't run the replay because the replay was in 1.23 and my patch version was in 1.24. So I had to download the version switcher for my old Warcraft and then switch it back. So, but you know, after all of that, you get to watch all these old games, and there's some old gems. I was kind of thinking, you know, which one would I cast as my 100th commentary, because it is a little special. As you could tell, I was getting a little bit emotional in the beginning. I was thinking, well, should I cast that 5 Necro book game, Necronomicon? Yeah, the 5 Necro book game. That is very, very epic game. Or some of the older games such as KS versus FTD, when I guess the now known LGD team, when they got their Sacred Relic roared and then still farmed it back to the SMJ, farmed it back in 7.5 minutes and won the game eventually. That was a very memorable game as well. But I just went all the way back, DTS.Dendi, KS.Swy, and my first and to 100. And I hope you guys will enjoy this commentary, really, from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys will enjoy it. And we'll see where I go from here. And I will be doing a little bit of a more emotional stuff. Not really. I'm gonna just sit around and talk about my Dota career, if you want to call it a career. Not really a career, but I would just sit around and talk about that. Not in this game, of course, but in a separate kind of 100 video special. But let's look at the heroes that they have finished picking right now. They do have a Witch Doctor on Sentinel, which, by the way, you gotta keep in mind, and a Venomancer. You gotta keep in mind these heroes were not popular back in 6.1. Definitely, Witch Doctor was not a support, and Venomancer was not a support. These are more or less pub heroes, if you think about it. Back in the day, so it's quite odd that they picked it. Meanwhile, here on the Scourge, they have definitely better heroes. The Panda was definitely a very popular hero back in 6.1, as I remember it, and Crystal Maiden definitely always a good support. And also, if I want to point out something, I'll be betting you $10 that the Crystal Maiden here has skill Freeze Bite. Yes. We'll see whether she skill Freeze Bite first or not. But yeah, if you skill Freeze Bite now, you get Flame, because Freeze Bite is definitely not a good spell. And you could definitely, you can see in this commentary and how it's different from today. You see that players, even professional players, have changed in different skill builds, in different playing styles. I mean, Crystal Maiden as a hero, she have never received any big change for many versions now. But the way to play her has changed. And this is a very important indication of how Dota is always evolving, and it's very reminiscent for me to commentate a very old game. Crow used to be bought. I think there was a couple months where teams really like to get a Crow like this, so they to prevent first blood attempt. And you can see that teams aren't doing that anymore. You see Enchantress actually roaming. This is what you call bad positioning now. But before, these are definitely professional players. Yes, Frostbite gotten a level 1. And actually Shaco gotten a level 1 as well. And you can see the first blood being picked up by KS Miracle, who is actually playing the Crystal Maiden. It looks like Chen is going to be in trouble. It looks like Panda does have the boots of speed. It's actually catching up. It's going to do some great blocking. Chen is definitely going to go down. Crystal Maiden is going to catch up for the Frostbite, and another Shaco being picked up. Generally, as a Rasa, you generally don't pick up Shackle as your level 1 spell. Most likely, you do go for the Hex, or I guess in some cases, Ether Shock. But I think if you're in this case here, the best thing you could have done is actually not skilled any point, and then just walk into the gank, and then realize, and then depending what you need, you skill what you need. So. Certain heroes are like that. I think Dazzle is a hero like that because you never know whether you need that Grave or whether you need that Poison Touch. So there are a couple of heroes that you generally you're better off not skilling your first spell. It looks like we do have a couple of heroes can be in the mid lane, and we are going to see a Venomancer solo mid, and you gotta keep in mind again, Venomancer solo mid never ever done back in that patch, at least not that I remember. It looks like Venomancer he doesn't really kind of realize that there is a couple of heroes, and yeah, Plague Wards. Plague Ward now is just such a common thing, but back then it was just not. And it looks like this. We're going to see Tornado going on, and that looks like Panda is going to take some damage. He does get a clap, but he's actually taking quite a bit of damage. Panda does have a boots of speed first, and he is going to go down. Not many stats, and Crystal Maiden probably is going to be a-okay. You can see that. The Venomancer didn't even pick up a Gale yet, so definitely very unorthodox play, even for 6.6 with 1B. And if Witch Doctor as a support, Witch Doctor's support definitely is a very powerful support hero, but again, people have not realized it yet. And I think back then, Witch Doctor as a hero, very strong in terms of. I don't think players even level Voodoo Restoration back then because they treat it as a kind of useless spell. But a Voodoo Restoration in 6.61B was definitely very OP, and that didn't even take like any mana at all in terms of keeping it on. You could practically keep it on for a long time, but players never skilled it because they just thought that spell was useless. But anyways, let's go over who's playing what. We have Trafka on the Enchantress, Demon on the Holy Knight. Mid lanes, Dendi's going to be playing the Venomancer. Top lane, we have NS playing the Undying. And then King Kong. Is King Kong a Ghost game? No, Play-Doh the admin? I want to say that. I'm not too sure. I think so. I think that's the case. Not too sure. On the Witch Doctor. Meanwhile, on the Scourger, Sound of Chaos Bug on the bottom. Ogre Magi being played by Fnatic Twisted, old school name, KS.Swy. On the Panda, Fnatic 21. I believe this is Loda. I'm not too sure. Loda always had some of that weird name. He's playing the Rasta. And then we have Miracle, old school. Well, he's still playing right now on GG.net. One of my favorite support players of all time in European scene. So we're still seeing some old school names, and some of these names are still with us today in the professional Dota scene. So this game is just it's just a gem. It's probably not a very good game. I don't remember at all how this game turned out, but it should be a very interesting game. As we see, this AG Demon's Troll is gonna get ganked upon by 3 hero, and he's need to be micro, just throw on net and run that guy away. No, he's gonna just give that hero kill to death, and it looks like. Yeah, that Troll goes down. It looks like Chen might be in trouble. Chen does not have Boots of Speed yet. He does have the Observer Ward. Crystal Maiden does have the Boots of Speed thanks to that First Blood, and they will kind of ferry more stuff. It looks like Chen did get a Observer Ward, and you realize that they definitely did not have any Observer Wards in the bot lane. And it looks like, oh my god, this Chen is going to be in trouble. Panda is going to come around. Is he going to get a clap on? Clap actually does hit. Clap range is really high. And Crystal Maiden is going to do a little bit extra more hate. But Chen is going to be okay as Enchantress comes out to rescue. So far, this game is not really action intensive, but we do have the aggressive roaming coming from Scourge. A Panda and a Crystal Maiden both have Boots of Speed. You got to keep in mind that Panda definitely went for the Boots of Speed first. So they gave the farm to the Rasa. Definitely want the... I think Rasa was definitely getting more popular back then because they realized how powerful Rasa's ward was. Once you hit level 6, every time you drop down the Rasa ward, it's a free tower. Definitely, always. So I think a lot of teams were realizing how strong that was, and then they were picking the Rasa as first pick, as you saw from this game. So a very aggressive playing style from me from the Scourge, both getting Boots of Sea first, and I'm just quite interesting how this mid lane worked out, because Ogre Magi mid, you never ever see that, aside from, well, I don't want to call this a professional game because it's not, it's just a pro pub, but I mean, even as a pub pros, it's gonna be a pro pub. It's really hard to lane, Ogre Magi mid because he's melee. And he's basically getting owned. Looks like Venomancer is level, level. He got 21 creep kills, and the Ogre Magi has 16, so he's not that far behind despite being melee. You can see that these two, well, I don't want to call them support, but the support, Crystal Maiden and the Panda, is doing quite a good job in terms of keeping Chen away from the forest. Chen actually has to go to the forest quite defensively. You would think Chen is a hero that would own the forest, own the jungle, but really, these two guys are owning it. But these two guys, I mean, one of the the downside of this is that, as we see a gang trying to go on the Enchantress, Enchantress is gonna get frostbitten, but he will have a heal. Let's see if he's gonna pop it right now. No, yeah, he is popping right now. He actually could turn around and start fighting. He is gonna do that against the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden taking quite a bit of damage from the illusion of the Venomancer, level 6 illusion, and Crystal Maiden down to half health, and you see the Enchantress back to full HP. Venomancer is going to come around. No, that is Chen dropping Observer Ward. You see Observer Ward spots. This spot is very common. I don't think this spot was discovered yet. Maybe it was. I'm not too sure. This spot was probably not discovered yet. This spot hasn't been discovered yet, I don't think. Maybe it was. I don't know. This spot definitely not discovered because that spot was discovered like a couple months ago. So, yeah, we can see that even warding, supporting, ganking, all these are just... Dota is a game that's constantly growing. And we can see that professional players and players all alike are just becoming better and better. And we can see a push going on the top lane here. Undying taking quite a bit of focus fire. And if we see a modern day Witch Doctor, you see the Voodoo Restoration being popped on. As we see an arrow actually hitting the Undying taking a lot of tower focus. But we do see the Witch Doctor coming around, hitting tower. Yes, tower. Good job getting the tower kill. But meanwhile, there's a kill on the mid lane. Dendi actually went down to Twisted. So most likely a very well timed, very good luck on the multicast, picking him down. But really lucky for Undying here. I think Witch Doctor played it expertly well. First, he threw the cast at the bottom, so it warded her away, and then immediately went to attack the tower. If he did any one of those two things wrong, then the Undying would have died. But he did everything right. So kill the tower and then stun the bottom, or the other way around. Meanwhile, in the bot lane here, there's initiation going on the Rasa. Rasa is going to drop the wards, but he is going to go down. Let's see if the Enchantress is going to get a kill. Enchantress does go down, so well done by the Rasa player, realizing he was going to go down. Does drop the ult, but now if the Venomancer is going to come around, he is going to eat a Fire Blast to the face. Venomancer is going to go down as well. These wards are not really focusing, though. They should have been focusing on the Venomancer, but regardless, they did get the kill. Now, Crystal Maiden is going to try to chase. Stomp actually missing the Crystal Maiden, though. Is there going to be Nova? That is, or level 2. Yes, Nova does hit, and then there is another Fire Blast. Really well done by the ganking squad of Scourge. So, and it's gonna heal the Chen creep as well. Chen creep does go down, so Scourge playing exceptionally well right now. But meanwhile, the top lane here, a bottom goes down. I apologize, I'm missing that action, but was trying to catch the action at the bot lane. Man, action just all over the map right now. This is a traditional European game where we see action all the way throughout. But it looks like Undying is gonna get another tower, trying to get another tower push down. And we are going to see a Vanguard and a Ring of Poseidus. You got to keep in mind the Ring of Poseidus was not a common item back then, especially not on the side lanes. So this is, again, we can see that Dota is changing so very often. These guys actually, it's going to run out. I'm not too sure whether that was the best choice with the tombstone, with all these creeps. They definitely could have just ran right under the tower and scared, maybe force a cancel on the teleport. It looks like, let's see if they're going to last at the tower. Tower is going to get, another stun going on, and they are going to get the, well, they didn't get the tower last hit, but it definitely was not denied. So really well done by Scourge getting a tower push on. But Crystal Maiden is coming around. Miracle doing an absolutely fantastic job. He has a killing spree, but what's more important is that he has just been going absolutely everywhere. Assisting. Was assist invented back then? Yes, assist was invented. Let me do a quick CS check. Can I not? I cannot do a CS check as we see a good fire blast into a ward trap. Venomancer drops his ult before he dies, though. He will inevitably die. He is going to die. Let's see if Enchantress is going to get a kill. Enchantress. Oh, he is hexed, but no, he is going to go down to the poison. Dendi doing an absolutely beautiful job. These wards, it's going to get a go down, and I think this tower might be going down as well. Twisted is staying around, trying to do whatever he can, but it looks like he won't be able to. And no, Panda's coming around as well. And Panda might be careful because he's only level 6. He will has the ultimate, but Enchantress doing quite a bit of damage. With Impedus, oh, Demon missing another clap. That was kind of huge. If he got that clap, the Panda definitely would have gone down to the Impedus damage. Looks like Panda is going to try to walk up the hill. Oh no, he got to be careful. Is there going to be enchant on? No, there's just not enough mana on the Enchantress. Enchant takes about, I think, 70 mana, and the Impedus takes about 40 mana per pop. So that's quite a mana intensive hero. You see the Enchantress grabbing a lot of no talismans and whatnot. And you can see the pushing power of Venomancer. I don't think a lot of teams realize how powerful Venomancer is. And you can see a Dendi leveling the wards up to 4 by 7. And that is definitely not a tradition. That was not the standard build back in the days. At least not how I remembered it. But it looks like they're going to get a tower push down. Tombstone is going to be dropped. Probably not even necessary. You can see the Sentinel extremely good at pushing, so they will allow the Sentinel team play very aggressive in terms of tower diving or just pushing tower down nonetheless. And I say this in every single of my commentaries, pushing tower down is so effective in terms of giving your supports more gold. That's the first thing. And second thing, it will just make the Roshan so easily accessible for the Sentinel. And it looks like there is a teleportation coming in, and they are going to kill the Undying, I believe. Undying is level 6, so does he have his ultimate skill though? I'm not too sure, because it looks like Panda taking quite a bit of damage, but he will ult out, and looks like Witch Doctor is going to be in trouble. No Voodoo, as you see, no Voodoo. It looks like there's a Cyclone going on the Enchantress, and the Enchantress might be going down, but I think Witch Doctor is going to go down first. Chen goes down already. Enchantress is at the background line. No one's actually focusing the Enchantress because they're trying to chase someone down. Another Cyclone glowing down. I think that was the same Panda. No, oh my god, Enchantress definitely going to be surrounded by 5 hero. That was a Warcraft 3 surround. Enchantress definitely going to go down here. And actually Undying come in to get a drop a nuke, and I think she might be going down with Crystal Maiden chasing very aggressively. Is there going to be a Frostbite? No, not enough mana for Frostbite. He does have 10 wand charges. There we go, pops a wand charge, but looks like this Centaur is going to go down instead. A Centaur for a hero, I guess that's kind of a good trade. Yeah, that's definitely a good trade, I suppose. But so far you can see that Scourge, despite not having the early game heroes such as Chen, such as the Venomancer, they are actually winning quite a bit. The score is 10-4. They are a little bit behind in terms of tower count, but looks like they're going to be catching up in just a bit if they take down this tower. Man, Crystal Maiden's just playing absolutely brilliant here. 3-0, I believe. Let me check. 5-0. No. 3-0-4, man. This is a score that you do want your Crystal Maiden to have. Maybe not as many kills, but definitely very good job in terms of roaming the map. Definitely did a good job roaming between bot and mid, and then roam to the top as well to slow down the push from the Witch Doctor and the Undying. One thing I might have to fault on a little bit is the warding from the Sentinel. They definitely was ganked upon quite a bit. You would think that with the extra a couple wards that the Sentinel, because they have one ward here, and I believe they have one more here, and then Chen planted another ward here. You would think that the Sentinel team would not be ganked as much, but really they're going to gank one more time, as we see Enchantress being ganked once again. Crystal Maiden being an absolute beast everywhere, and we can see, oh no, long range arrow is going to hit, but you can see that why Enchantress such a broken hero despite being surrounded by 4 heroes. Ice Rock go, despite surrounded by 4 heroes, that just whatever that wisp healing thing is just insane in terms of as a healing mechanism. As we see another chase going on, Ogre Magic getting a double cast on the multi, and they are gonna pick up. No, there is a net. It looks like Ogre Magi is going to TP back. Not exactly too sure what that's about. Probably getting more mana. He's actually building a lot of no talismans as well. No talisman back then did not get the buff as it did now. The buff is also gets a +3 damage. But also to Ogre Magi, which is quite a mana dependent hero. It's very good. As we see a chase going on the Crystal Maiden. Is Crystal Maiden is going to get net? No, that net was fogged. But Enchantress should be fast enough. He does have phase boots. Oh my god. You remember how baller phase boot was? No, I think this is actually a weaker version of phase boots. When phase boot first came out, it took a Blades of Attack and then a chainmail, so it gave you armor and attack, and I believe it gave you attack speed too. I forgot about that. I'm not sure about that. So it was just definitely insane. And then Ice Rock nerfed it. Justly so, because it's definitely very broken item. Cheap armor is definitely always a very broken item, which I was saying when Django, when Medallion of Courage first came out, I thought, man, that was gonna be broken. It is still broken, but in a different way, because I thought that a lot of heroes just would have bought it for a cheap source of armor. But I think most teams are going to be using it as an armor removal, as what it was intended to do. Fair enough. As we see more people teleporting in, this is going to be a Panda for sure. Man, old Warcraft, you wouldn't know who's teleporting in because it would just be all the same color. But in the newer Warcraft, you know. As Crystal Maiden drops his ultimate, Venom Master drops his ultimate as well. Undying's going to go down to the focus fire. No, he's still alive though, but no Witch Doctor dropping his ult, but not doing quite a bit of damage. But actually, Crystal Maiden's going to go down, and Trencher's taking quite a bit of beating as well. He does have a salve. He's going to use it pretty soon. As we see Panda comes in, his ultimate is already down, and we already see a Venom Master. No, not Venom Master. The Rasa, gotta be careful. He's quite low in HP. A couple more Enchantress hit, and that's going to be it. Actually, Enchantress gotta be careful as well, because these Serpent Wards do quite a bit of damage. Everyone in quite low HP, but no one's turning back, man. Voodoo Restoration would have just been huge. You can see that the Witch Doctor is still at 300 mana left, casting his Maledict ultimate and everything. If he had Voodoo Restoration, man, that team fight might be a little bit more in favor of the Sentinel. But you can see that Sentinel is still the 4 frail hero still around. There might be trying to get a push going on. I think Venomancer will try to put a little bit more wards closer to the tower. Maybe could get a couple of hits on the tower. But they definitely killed that Undying. Undying, a very strong tank, but not under constant focus fire, such as the Rasa wards. And a long arrow is going to come in. It's going to hit Demon. Demon not paying attention. When you see the teleportation coming in immediately, and you can remember the old teleportation, how old teleportation worked. You could all teleport in at the same time, and there's no kind of wait time on that. That was one of the big mechanics change done by Ice Rock. Where you can see Chen definitely going to go down to a freeze bite, and Panda picks up another kill. Really well done here, stacking on the Bracer, man. These are old school builds. And everyone stack Bracer, stack no Talisman, stack Wave Bands. We definitely don't see any more of that. We saw Ice Rock making more and more kind of basic items, such as Django, such as Urns, such as Force Staff, things that are cheap to make but actually affect the game very, very much so. And let's see what's going to be happening as we see a couple of heroes converging in mid lane. Another hit going on, and great arrow to follow up. Looks like, my god, these Undying is just being out of position. This is definitely bad play. You can see that, I think, in 6.71, if teams play like this, you would actually just get flamed, because these are really, really bad play coming in from these professional players. But you got to keep in mind that players get better and better over time, even as professional players. So you could say that these are bad play, but a year ago, this is kind of just like the norm, if you think about it. And that's why European Dota got the notoriety. Were infamously known as high action pack and high kill counts, but mostly it was due to kind of bad positioning and whatnot. But I'm not here to talk about that. OCC Panda actually farming around. I'm gonna do a creep check. I've been trying to do a creep check everywhere, but people are just teleporting in left and right here. 55 on the Venomancer, 30 on the Enchantress. Pretty bad farming from Trafka. 62 on NS, which is you kind of expect better. As we see Cass coming in, they're gonna try to focus down on the Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi before he dies, gets a multicast on the Enchantress. Enchantress goes down, but it looks like Venomancer is gonna come in. Can he drop his ultimate? No, he can't. It looks like we did see Enchantress going down, and now would I have time to check the creep card? No, Crystal Maiden is coming around. You gotta keep in mind that Crystal Maiden, despite being a very, very frail hero, she does have 2 Bracer and a Magic Wand with 12 charges. I think she's gonna do a backstab. Yeah, she is gonna try to do backstab. Basically walk in and ult. You gotta keep in mind, not many stuns coming in from the Sentinel. They will have the chain creeps for the stun, but actually no Centaur either. Yeah, just for the cast. So if the cast is casted, Crystal Maiden could just basically waltz right in and drop an ultimate. I think that's what she's gonna try to do. And let's see if anyone's going to come in for the defend. No one's going to come in for the 10. Tower is going to go down. That's 5 towers down for the Scourge. And Crystal Maiden might be found at this point. No, Crystal Maiden is going to come around. Is it going to just do a freeze by ultimate? No, Crystal Maiden is found now, and she's got to be careful. I still haven't seen Dirge picking up his ultimate yet. I'm not too sure what the old Dirge build was, but and Dendi just feeds. Okay. Not too sure what that was about. Maybe caught 3 or 4. Yeah, that again, being out of position. But anyways, again, going back to the creep check here, 64 on the Panda, and that was really, really good farm for the Panda, considering that he was not in lane at all. So he was mostly roaming in the early game, but still matching the farm on the solo here, and actually ganked his way up to a Blink Dagger. Very, very huge. And that will allow the initiation coming from Scourge become a lot easier. And man, this farm suggests this maybe Loda, because this is 100 CS in 18 minutes, and this is pretty standard CS nowadays, but back in 6.61B, this is awesome CS. But you gotta keep in mind that on Scourge, there's only 2 people grabbing the CS. Meanwhile, on the Sentinel, I think it's a little bit more split up. As we see another tower going down for the 40 Sentinel, and you can see that Miracle actually lasting quite a bit. As a Crystal Maiden, she's quite rich. Looks like there's going to be a push going on the mid lane. Is Rasa War on the cooldown? Yes, Rasa War is cooldown, and we're going to see it drop immediately. And you see this is the pushing power of the Rasa. I think once you drop it, this tower is going to be going down for sure. Chen is going to try to do whatever delay he can get, but no, I don't think that's not going to be enough. Actually, Demon doing a pretty good job drawing the creeps away from the tower, and that actually might save the tower. Yeah, that definitely will save the tower, especially with all these heroes coming around to support, and that is going to be helpful. Actually, a very interesting thing is that Venomancer is picking up the Boots of Travel. I'm not too sure whether that is the best choice, but however, back then in 6.61b, there weren't alternatives such as the Urn, there weren't alternatives such as the Force Staff, and Agastick wasn't made for Venomancer back then yet. So I'm not too sure what you would have got on the Venomancer. I think Venomancer back then was played more as a kind of a roam into a carry. I think you would have definitely got Manta Style. Well, I'm not too sure. Was Manta Style back then as a Diffusal Blade into a Manta Style, or was it a Yasha into a Manta Style? I see. Once you commentate all these old games, you kind of forget how it really was. But this was definitely the traditional way to play the bottom. Basically get a lot of Wraith Bands, and then you go straight into BOT. As we see ult dropping on the Crystal Maiden, not Crystal Maiden. On the Priestess. Priestess taking quite a bit of damage, but I think she is going to be okay. As we see a couple of teleport support is going to coming. Potom doing an excellent job in terms of scouting. He knows that he's not going to be dying with his Invisrine, so he's going to be scouting for his team, but I don't think his teammates going to be coming, especially not with Rasa farming in the top lane here. And then Panda farming the mid lane here. You can see that everyone is getting BOTs. BOT was still the boots of choice for professional players back in 6.61b. It wasn't much later till Treads completely took over, because everyone realized that no one is gonna allow the other team to farm up to BOT. Teams are just too good. They are just too active on the pushes. They were just too. I think TP Scroll was definitely. I think TP Scroll definitely replaced BOT in the current trends. Let's see how it's going to work out. A strong pushing squad. Venomancer is going to come in, but Arrow actually hits that creep, so that's not going to be enough. We're going to see Venomancer dropping a lot of wards. They're going to focus on the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is going to be okay, predominantly due to this Tombstone. Tombstone just slowing down absolutely everything. Panda comes in out of nowhere, and they're going to do a big blink collab. They're going to try to focus on Enchantress. That should not be the correct target. It looks like they are going to kill the Tombstone, and that is going to be huge. The Sentinel running away from the Tombstone, I don't think that's a good idea, and it looks like Chen creeps are absolutely low. I don't think they have used their Stomp yet. Chen, you're using his ultimate. That's huge, but Rasa drops his ward in the middle of the team fight here, and we said all these guys are going down. Dendi went down, Enchantress going down. Man, you can see the power of the Panda just going through, and Crystal Maiden drops and go, realizing there's no more stuns, and they're going to do a lot more slowing. Chen is going to go down for sure, and it looks like Witch Doctor is going to go down later, so almost a team wipe going against the Sentinel. And let's see if Scourge is going to go for Roshan. No, I don't think Roshan was a popular choice back in 6.61b. I mean, you would take it down once in a while, but only if you had like strong heroes such as Ursa or very stacked hero. You can see that this team was definitely very capable of taking Roshan, but I think people did not put as much emphasis upon Roshan as they do now. So again, changes in teams, things like BOT, now more favor of Treads and things like that. So definitely a gem to kind of look back and cast a game that's 1.5 year old. And Potom, does he have his BOT yet? Potom is let's see. He's 1,000 gold. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have his BOT anytime soon. I think a lot of us in today now playing Potom, we just said, fuck it, I'm going to go for Treads. But back then before, you would be considered as a new Potom if you didn't farm your way up to your BOT. So, old school Potom build. And let's see how Sentinel is going to recover. They can recover because they're very bursty as a pushing team. Oh, well, no, they're very resilient as well, because you got to keep in mind Enchantress heal, Chen heal, and of course Soul Rip. By the way, the best heal in the game, 500 damage as a nuke. Well, of course, magically reduced, but 500 damage healed as well, so that's pretty insane as a healer. But Undying is actually barely level 9, and Undying is a hero that requires quite a bit of level, so a little bit unfortunate for Undying here. It looks like there's going to be a huge push coming in from Scourge. Only 2 heroes, so Scourge gotta be careful as we see. Oh no, oh my god, Rasa is going to go down. Now, not before he drops his ward though. Enchant goes down on him as well. They're going to do a lot of damage. You definitely saw the power of the Soul Rip there. Man, that was like a 500 damage nuke. Probably not 500 exact, maybe a little bit less, but regardless, they did get a kill on the Rasa. But unfortunately, Dendi goes down somewhere again, being being ganked upon by a Blink Dagger Panda. And really, Blink Dagger Panda is there's really not much answer to it, especially without a 4-staff. Oh no, Chen is going to be out of position as well, man. This is mostly just out of position, I have to say. Definitely nowadays, if you get roam around by yourself like this without war sight, that is just very, very dangerous. As we see here, Earl missing. Is Undyne going to come around for help? Undyne using his ult and doing some block, but now he's got to be careful. As you see, he's taking quite a bit of damage as well, and actually he got the kill. No, Panda comes in, and looks like he actually missed the clap though, and Undyne using the heal kind of futilely on himself. Next time Enchantress is going to come in. Enchantress is going to die instead though. He does have Untouchable. He is going to use his heal. Is it too late though? Clap is going to go down. He's taking, oh my god, he's tanking so much damage as Enchantress. You see Enchantress so baller, so OP as a hero. He's going to come around and Undyne taking quite a bit of damage as well. That heal is already running out, but Cass is going to, no, Cass did not bounce at all, and that was quite unfortunate. You can see Undyne going down. The Panda ultimate is going to do so much damage, and we can see the Venomancer is going to go down as well. Undyne going to definitely go down. Actually, Monair, was that Monair? Yes, that was Monair. No, that was Maelstrom first. Excuse me. Monair is not picked up yet. You can see Crystal Maiden taking quite a bit of damage. The Tomb Crystal Maiden is going to go down to the Enchantress, but I think the Panda is going to come back with the clap and do quite a bit of damage. Heal is on cooldown on the Enchantress. Enchantress is going to go down. Another really well played gank by the Scourge, and it looks like Chen is going to come in. Man, I feel like the Sentinel, they just come in kind of just on the wrong time at the wrong places. They feel like they're coming in one at a time and just not coming at the same time. Cass being an absolute beast in that team fight. Well, just right there, but did not bounce in the team fight, so that was unfortunate for them. Venomancer running around like crazy. I think he's gonna go for a Hood. Oh, Hood is I think it took a Helm of Iron Will. Yeah, it took a Helm of Iron Will, 2 Ring of Regen, and then Planeswalker Cloak. So, man, this game is just baller in terms of everyone just going for old school builds, doing old school thing. I gotta say, this has to be Loda. It's very Loda-esque of play. Just ignore your team and go push, ignore your team and go farm. It looks like he might be going for that kind of the old school pub Rasa build, which is the Aga Stick into Refresher Orb, and then you just drop that down on the enemy tower, you drop that down on a single team fight, and basically you just win the team fight. There's really, the damage output of that is just a little bit too much. As we see Rasa coming in, is he going to get a War Trap? No, he is not going to get a War Trap, but no, he's going to get casted cancel, and it looks like Rasa might be in trouble as well. Soul Rip goes on Rasa, but Rasa's so very tank right now. I don't think he definitely did not have a lot of creeps, and even if it's a 2v1 situation, you can see that Rasa even is going to come actually scares 2 people away, and unfortunately that ward is a little bit wasted because it wasn't going to hit any towers or anything like that. But we'll see. As we see, this is so out of position by NS. Like, I mean, why would you do that? Oh man, that was just a little bit bad. And actually, Dendi leaves the game, and that's it, man. This is an old school kind of play. I mean, the game is kind of over. You can see that the score is 9-24 in favor of Scourge, and I definitely don't think there's anything the Sentinel could do. But a little bit abrupted ending. Kind of not used to this type of ending. You know, nowadays you do that, you get flamed. You definitely get flamed, especially by the entire community. But anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this 100th commentary. I look back to game number 1, definitely a very old school kind of game, and I mean, my analysis might not be as spot on as they should be, because I mean, this is literally 10 versions ago. It's 7-1B now, but this is 6-1B. So I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I'm gonna give a little bit of endgame analysis. It's quite interesting that bottom. I thought definitely he would have gone for BOT because that was a standard build, but actually gone for Maelstrom. That's pretty good. I think the biggest factor for the Sentinel, aside from being consistently out of position, is that NS did not get any levels. Especially as a Undyne, you need as much level as possible. And also, I don't think Vanguard might have been the best choice. Vanguard is still very good, but I think against this entire Scourge team, you can see it's mostly magical. I think getting Hood is the kind of the first priority, and he didn't even get that. You're not even a Cloak of Defiance. So I think if he got that, it would have been a little bit better. You can see that actually he's quite low level in his team. He's one of the lower levels in his team, so I think if he got a little bit more farming room, he would have contributed to the team a lot more. Also, there was no answer for the Panda's Blink Dagger ultimate. Generally, there's no answer for anything like that. However, I think if you go for more defensive items such as a pipe, or if you go for, well, there was no 4-staff, so never mind. Yeah, there is no answer for that. I think the Sentinel team, I mean, they shouldn't allow the Panda to farm up that much though, because they're predominantly an early game aggression team. It's just that they failed to be early game aggression because the Crystal Maiden was just skanking like an absolute champ. Miracle being the kind of the old school support and he's always there. He's always at the right place at the right time. He was just getting a lot of ganks so well in the early stages of the game, and then mid stages of the game as well. So I think the game mostly is lost due to bad positioning. I'm not too sure what I said back then in my number one commentary. I probably didn't even give any game analysis in my number one commentary. Yeah, most likely I didn't. I just be like, well, Dendi left. All right, see you guys in the next cast or something like that. But you know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. It's definitely has been a blast from 1 to 100. Definitely has been a blast, and I'm definitely gonna cast a lot more. So until next time, this is Luminous, and I hope you guys enjoy all my commentary. And for more commentary and content, check us out on DotaCommentaries.com. So that's it from me, and we'll see you next time. This is Luminous signing off. GG guys.